Barbara.
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 Barbara. Her infectious positivity. And when she walked into a room, if the room was dark, it lit up.
Passionate, enthusiastic, Barbara gave me a sense of joy, purpose, and family.
Couldn't help but like her, and you wanted to learn more about what she knew.
Your mom was so special.
She had this bright, cheerful personality, ever positive, and this incredible smile.
And I know that she was one of a kind. Amazing.
I'm Barbara Johnson, and I'm a long-term member of the Players, starting in 1949 as an actress. And in '08, I retired as a board member. A friend of mine who had been the little sister in Philadelphia Story the year before asked me to go to tryouts with her on a Sunday afternoon. So I said, sure. And I sat out in the auditorium and watched her try out. And then Clayton McMichael, the wonderful director I worked with, asked me to come up and try out. He gave me the part. And that was the beginning of a very wonderful long-term relationship.
Hi, Jeffrey Ken. Speaking to all people who get it, that there are people on this world, planet, place that are here to help us learn things. And the one takeaway I have is that there are people around you that you need to be with, and there are people around you that you choose to be with, and then there are people around you that you have to be with, and then there are the people that you want to be with. And Barbara was one of those people.
I always believed at a certain age, one has filled their life with all the dear friends one will ever make. Then you meet Barbara Johnson, and a whole new world opens up to you. Not only do you find someone as passionate about the arts as you, as enthusiastic about living as you, but also someone who fills your life with many other dear people in the arts, in education, in the theater, who also become your friends. She was a woman who expanded people's worlds. She was a beacon for me, a light giving me direction about living a life that said you are never, never too old to accomplish something great. My daily mantra became, don't quit now. Barbara hasn't. Barbara wouldn't. I met her in Evanston and followed her to Sarasota. I shared her dream of drama education for all kids built into a school day. I've been able to take that shared dream to many other school districts because she and I believe what gets planted grows. Barbara gave me a sense of joy, purpose, and family. I got to know Dick, Andy, and Carolyn, all beautiful people. And now I met her son as well. We all know Barbara was special, one of a kind, uniquely her own person, confident, creative, compassionate, and carried by the wind. Always going somewhere, always doing something. I think if we listen closely, we will hear her voice carried in the gusts and breezes, still telling us all what to do and prodding us all to carry on.
I remember when she mentioned that Dick had gotten diabetes, and somebody had said, oh, that's terrible. And my mom was like, are you kidding me? Barbara is taking this on as like her job. She was like, Dick has never been healthier. He exercises, he eats right. Barbara is like the best champion of anyone. If you have a problem, Barbara is going to solve it. And I was like, I could totally see that. Yes, Barbara will not like let there be a problem. Like she would work really hard to make sure that everything was as good as it could be.
I think that with her, it was she had skills you can't teach. I don't care how good you are. They talk about leaders are born, not made, and all that stuff. And some of the things, that's absolutely true. But there's a natural, in fact, I'm taking a class right now at Villanova around race, migration, and justice. And part of it is the notion of what power is all about. And your mom had a power that I would equate it almost like we were talking yesterday about Martin Luther King. He didn't have positional power, but he had power. Your mom had power of personality, that she wasn't going to command people to go into battle or anything like that, but you couldn't not listen to her.
She was at one of my sealed garages, and I was there with her, and she was trying to explain to these burly linemen and repair guys. There weren't many women in the crew, and before she even started to tell them what she'd like to consider putting into their workload, the one guy shouted out, "You just can't see the quality of our jobs. You're too short. We'll get you a ladder." So it broke all the guys up, and she just came back right away, and she said, "In another life, I'm coming back 5'6". And she just chortled. She had this deep, for a little person, she had deep belly laugh kind of thing. And everybody just listened to her afterward, and they came around her and asked, and she explained that she actually got the idea for what she had proposed to them from another craftsperson in a different garage that was getting better results. So that got their attention.
That laugh was 100 times bigger than she was.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you expect, when you hear the laugh, you expect to see this big imposing person.
Yeah.
That sure wasn't who she was.
When your mom would come down to visit, she was always so, gracious and sweet about that. And, my mom is a little bit intense, and your mom's, sense of humor, I'm sure so many people have talked about her laugh, but, that was just always so great. And I think even my grandmother, when she really didn't have all of her memory, she knew the laugh. She'd be like, "Oh, wait, I know her."
Of all the things that I loved so much about your mom was her infectious positivity. And when she walked into a room, if the room was dark, it lit up. She had this bright, cheerful personality, ever positive, and this incredible smile. And the thing that I loved most about your mom was her beautiful laugh. It was a soulful laugh. She laughed with her entire being. And it was so funny because, I always thought, she's small in stature, but huge personality. And she just lit up the room. And that is what I remember most about her.
God, I'm like 17 and riding the bus and the whole thing, but she was like, "You can handle it, you've got this." And I think, she just always had faith. You're going to be fine. There were times where, she'd be like, "All right, you're going to want to go down to 43rd. Don't walk down 42nd. Like, don't be stupid. The Port Authority, walk with purpose. Don't look at people." She had like very specific like rules about how one should operate, but she acted as if this is perfectly normal, that you should be doing all these things and doing this by yourself. And so it gave me enough confidence to go forth and do that.
My most recent interactions are Barbara and Dick, and my sister's wedding, Elizabeth's wedding, was fantastic. We were up in New York or Washington, and it was beautiful. And Dick regaled us the whole weekend. We were in this beautiful sort of bed and breakfast. After a few hours of that, you're like, okay, now what? And Dick was thankfully there to regale me with a lot of cool stories. And of course, I just remember the interactions with him and with Barbara. And I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice to have a relationship with somebody that was that equalizing and that uplifting in a way, because I felt like the two of them were just so good together.
You know that she was one of a kind, amazing, and will be missed. And a celebration like this, and people gathering, talking, and remembering is what it's all about. So thank you, Barbara, for the lesson. And I hope that anyone watching will take the advice to please pick out those people that you want to be with and do it. Show up for them.
So much has come to me through my contact of that original beginning at the Players. My following year, the man who played my father, Dick Adams, was technical director at Denison Summer Theater, and I applied to be an apprentice when I was a freshman in college. Went to Denison, majored in theater, traveled Europe, the Far East through the Denison Players. I have so much flown from that one contact. I would say I can't recommend anything more about it. There are many opportunities, and you won't know what will flow from it